Okay, I think it would be really cool to have a Fire Emblem game kind of structured like Monopoly, and not in the way that you're thinking, not like Monopoly style gameplay, but in the sense that like Monopoly is like a critique of like capitalism and landlords. So it's like you're playing as this landlord who's going around the map and is like raising everybody's rents and profiting off of people. And you build houses, but you only build that to like extract more rent and more like values off the property, right? And that's not like my opinion of the game. Like if you actually search the history of the Monopoly, it was literally originally started as like a socialist critique of capitalism. But at the same time, it's like very fun when you're the capitalist to just go around like raising everybody's rents and building fancy new hotels or whatever while just taking everybody's money like crazy, right? In the same way, Fire Emblem, I feel like they could have a game that instead of the morals being like I'm the good lord slash king slash imperialist and you're the bad lord slash king slash imperialist, and having the morality be so individualized, it would be cool if they made like a broader critique of the whole concept of like colonization or imperialism or whatever. And Fire Emblem has like kind of done that sort of, right? Like at FE6, you are being protected by Etruria, right? But then you go to the Western Isles that Etruria is like kind of like colonizing and using to like mine shit and stuff. And there's like a whole like resistance group against Etruria that's like working to stop them because they're actually really corrupt and just trying to use the resources for themselves. The Etrurian nobility are like corrupt, and you have to sort of fight them as well because they end up betraying the country to burn, right? Although again, that's sort of like kind of framed as like, oh, the nobles are corrupt, but it's because they just individually are corrupt and not that like the system of nobility is corrupt. And I feel like sometimes Fire Emblem flirts with just making all the nobles corrupt. Like I feel like in Path of Radiance, the Radiant Dawn, like the whole Benyon Senate was more or less evil. The Crimean Senate that like or nobility who were trying to get rid of Valencia and Radiant Dawn. And in Three Houses, there was like a real critique that Edelgard had, where she was like, okay, these nobles are just using this elitist crest system to hold on to power, and the whole point was to bring the power back to the people, bring fairness, equality, etc. So I think we're progressing towards that, but we should move forward in that direction. And a game like that where it's like you start out being naive and just like following the king's directives, almost like Sigurd in FE4 and like conquering everything. And then you slowly realize the inherent evilness despite you being a good person, you turn to rebel. That would be a sick game.